What's up, YouTube? Chris Six here, coming at you with the unholy trinity of the antichrist superstar himself, Marilyn Manson. The albums that I'll be talking about today and discussing is Antichrist Superstar, Holyrood, and Mechanical Animal. I just got done listening to the Antichrist Superstar. Before that, I had listened to Mechanical Animals, and yesterday I ended up listening to Holyrood. So I just recently listened to all three of these albums to discuss these, and in my opinion, I honestly think that Marilyn Manson, his entire band, and anybody who had a part of the production was just on spot at this time. I mean, these three albums, they come off of Nothing Interscope Records. The Antichrist Superstar, to me, hands down, is probably one of the best albums by Marilyn Manson. I did a little bit of research, digging through, finding. I seen that the Marilyn Manson's album Antichrist Superstar had sold 1,900,000 units, meaning that the album actually went platinum. And I mean, that's impressive for a metal album to go platinum. In the United States, that album made the Billboard 200 at number 3. It was just an all-around good album. It was a feel-good album for me. It's one of them albums I remember growing up on as a kid, back from the 90s. Just amazing that they were all on spot. You could hear the Trent Reznor 9 Inch Nails inspiration through some of the tunes. Between all three of those albums, there's a lot of undertones of like a Nine Inch Nails sound to it. It's the industrial, experimental metal music that Marilyn Manson was going through at that time. I can't say too much bad about the albums. There's a couple things that kind of lost me. I read a couple different sources that stated that Marilyn Manson claimed that these three albums actually followed in suit, being released from the last to the first, being Holyrood would be the first album to listen to, like I did yesterday, ending with Antichrist Superstar. You're supposedly, in three albums, are an autobiography of Manson's life. That I gather from listening to the music, and what I get the gist of, it's nothing to do with his life. It does talk a lot about. It does talk a lot about. I can't say it has nothing to do with his life, but I mean it does talk a lot about the drugs, his religious views, in just his whole view on Christianity in itself. It's not really following him as a child on up. If you want to know more about Manson growing up, check out the book, Long Hard Road Out of Hell. I read that book a few years back. Very good book. It's an amazing book. I mean, I'll put it this way: you'll be very shocked at what is in there. Following his life. There's a lot of stuff that you would not think of Marilyn Manson ever enduring in his life, and he has. But back to these three albums. These albums just blow my mind. If you haven't heard any of them, which I would be surprised if you haven't, if you're on this video, go check them out. You'll really enjoy them. The Antichrist Superstar's got probably one of the greatest song riffs for guitar, for drums, vocal lines, The Beautiful People. That is probably one of the all-time best rock riffs out there. I mean, in my opinion, I love that song. My all-time favorite song off of the whole album of the Antichrist Superstar, surprisingly, would be Man That You Fear. The lyrics and just the way the vocals are sang for that song, it really gets me every time. I mean, that song gives me goosebumps. The Beautiful People, though, if you're into movies, go check out. There is a actual tribute, I guess you would call it, to Full Metal Jacket. It's got the Beautiful People song playing in the background. Go check that out. It's on YouTube here. Amazing song. amazing video. And then there's also been a movie or two that's come out. Actually, more than two movies. There's been a few movies that's come out that the songs off of Antichrist Superstar have been featured on. There's also a few songs that didn't make it to the album that have been featured on many movies. Howard Stern's Private Parts being one of the films that there was a song that was cut from the album. But there's a few other ones I can't even think of right this second. I'm sure if you do a little more digging yourself, you'll find a little more sources and a little more knowledge on what I'm talking about. Also, all three of these albums, they have their high points, they have their low points. The high points, they've got some jammin' metal songs, then they've got some really quiet, soft, mellow ballads. I mean, he gets you at all levels with these albums. Every one of these songs, though, you can feel that esque of him having such an angst against Christianity and religion, him having bad problems with being bullied, picked on, singled out, shoved in the corner, him hiding himself away. You know, you can feel that, all that in the lyrics and the contents of all three of these albums. Like I said, go check them out. Hit me back later. I'll have another video coming at you. All right. Peace.